Hey folks, Jeff Little here with my buddy Team Torpedo Angler Marty Mood. We're getting ready to launch on one of Virginia's 122 different electric only lakes.
I didn't realize we had that many.
Yeah, yeah, Virginia's got a good number of them. Yeah. So this is the rig that I'll be in. We got a Tracker Marine Topper 14 and we're powered by Torpedo Travel 1103. It's a 3 horsepower equivalent electric motor. Move this boat when I'm solo in it, I get up to about 6.3. With the two of us and all our gear, probably 5.2, somewhere in that range. So, got everything we need in it. A whole bunch of Yakutech gear, rod holders, nice Millennium Marine swivel seat here. Got a Humminbird Helix 10, a little bit of everything. So, perfect for these electric only waters. So we're right in front of the dam, and the deepest water we found so far were 16, 17 feet. That to me says that most of this lake is shallow, and we're definitely gonna want to find shaded areas, whether we're skipping soft plastics up underneath the overhanging brush on the shoreline or getting up into a creek, I don't know, but shade I think is gonna be a big deal. Hey, we finally got one. Fishing the riprap of the dam. We marked a lot of the creek channel out in front of this and decided to come shallow or fish this shallow riprap and see if anything, was alive. It's actually been a slow morning. Marty got that one on the Senko, and then this has been the second one, so it's kind of to be expected. 88.4 degree water. It's hot. You got to be slow and fish deep if you can. Got this one on the Z-Man Micro Finesse jig with the Trick Shots trailer. I like that one because it has the ribs that holds in the scent. I use the Liquid Mayhem. That really helps them when they grab it to find it and decide, yeah, I really do want to eat that and hold on to it. So we'll go ahead and get this one back in there. You got one?
Yeah, I got one finally. Here we go. Working that jig down the point on the rocks. Not the same size as yours, I think. Get up in there. Whoop. Graceful. All right.
Nice catch, man.
Well, we ain't catching big ones yet, but we might be onto a little something. For going in the right direction anyway.
For it being almost 90 degree water, I don't think we're doing too bad.
Yeah. All right. So same thing, working it down the rocks. I'm using the Z-Man cross-size jig head with a Rage trailer. Came off a rock and he thumped it.
Very cool.
Getting back in the water.
Let's take a quick look at the depth finder. And right here I'm in 13 feet, but we're gonna zoom out and show you the big picture. So we've marked channels there, and then this is where we are. The creek channel kind of loops around here and then comes up this way and out. So we've found some 20-foot deep water along in there with no real hard bottom, a couple hard drop-offs, but it comes to 19 feet in certain areas right here next to this part of the dam. And finding that deeper part of the wherever the creek channel is intersecting with the dam sometimes is the magic thing to do. Yeah. I've been out on the water in a couple different reservoirs, and I've found two things in the last couple days fishing these. One is you find the deepest water you can and find that creek channel, and the other is to go up in the creeks all the way up at the top, I found a difference between, and one of the reservoirs I had 96.5 degree water. And I may actually cut to and show you the clip of me zooming from 96.5 all the way up into, it was about a half-mile run up into the creek, and I think I had like 84, somewhere in like the low 80s.
That's huge. Yeah,
it is huge, and it's tree canopy, so cooler water. You know, instead of having almost 90 degree water here, we're fishing the deepest water we can where there is some structure. So
looking. I ain't that
I saw
dumb.
2 of them.
Yeah, there was 3. 2 were definitely nice long beards. That one was like dragging on the ground, like 9-10 inch beard.
All right, Marty had a good one on. Nice, you think what, 19 or 20 inch fish?
In that range, yep.
That happens, it broke off, but we're zooming around because he got it on a piece of wood that was out away from the shoreline. So we're gonna explore the upper end of the lake and see what we can find there. It certainly is a tough, a tough bite when you have water temperature. Right here you can see 93 degrees, 92.9, 93.1 right there. It's in the heat of the day. I've been out a couple days and I've had some fun, actually not bass fishing, just saying forget it, I'm gonna catch some panfish, and that's been fun. I've got a number of bigger red ears, bluegill, some green sunfish, and just embracing that, having a plan B for the heat of the day and forget about bass fishing in the middle of the day has been a lot of fun. I'm mainly just fishing a bobber with a trout magnet underneath it, and anywhere that I see brush piles, anywhere I see a log jam, you drop it in there and it's just automatic, one after another. So we're gonna keep trying for some bigger bass here. Hopefully we find some of those sticks that are offshore a little bit, a piece of wood, and we'll keep jigging, see what we come up with.
I was waiting for that to stop to hit the bottom, and it just, oh, that's a good fish. It never hit the bottom. It just kept going. I was like, that water ain't that deep. That's a decent fish. There's turkey. Finally! Woo! That's what we came for right there.
Beautiful.
Man, that was textbook right there. Flipped right at the edge of that wood sticking out there.
Beautiful.
And it was dropping. The line just kept coming off the reel. I was like, something's up. When I finally set the hook on her, when I came tight, she was like 4 feet off that log already with it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nice. Whew! All right, there she is. 4 pounds, 7 ounces, the official weight. Wood, isolated wood, about offshore, 20, 30 yards is kind of the pattern we figured out. Every time we've hit that so far, we've gotten bit. So, finally got a good one. I'm gonna let her go back. She goes. So is this Travel 03 the same motor as that's on the kayak?
The motorhead on the Travel 1103 and the motorhead on the Ultralight 1103, which is for kayaks. It's the same motorhead. They've just figured out a way to get a different, just a different mounting. You know, this one was with a traditional transom. You got one? Nice. Oh, nice jump. Beautiful.
Hold that thought a minute.
Yeah. It's a better looking fish.
I thought you had my line again because I could feel it rubbing. I was like, what is going on here? Took me a second.
Nice job, man.
Yeah. Another little guy.
But yeah, they're both 3 horsepower equivalent electric motors, electric outboards, one for kayak and one for traditional boats like this John boat. All right, so we're circling around. We're just cruising around and looking for this. We're a little bit off of shore and there's a little nub here. Very tiny little, you had to be right on top of it to see it. But that's what we're looking for. That's what we keep pulling fish off of. Sure, we're getting them on wood on the shore, but this out away from shore has been the where we've gotten the better bites.
What kind of range are we getting right now, Jeff?
Let's see. I'm going 1.8 miles per hour, and we have 9.6 miles of range. Obviously, if we crank up the speed on it a little bit, it's gonna diminish the range. But I can tell you, yesterday on one battery, I fished Ravenna Reservoir, and I fished, which is one of the bigger ones in Virginia. I went all the way up to the top where the creek went in and kept going where it became the Ravenna River again and just kept going. I don't know how many miles I covered, but you know.
So how many, what percent batteries left for 9 miles?
Right now?
Yeah.
We've been using it pretty good. It's
Fish
I have
on.
33, little guy. We have 33%, so
9 miles at 33%.
yep.
Yep.
But you know, it's all in how you budget.
Right.
You know, you shouldn't have any trouble getting, you know, a full day of fishing even on the biggest reservoirs in Virginia. The biggest one is Dyson Reservoir, which is over 1,000, and you know, you can explore that whole thing. You may not be able to go at full speed 6.3 miles per hour for the whole, you know, the whole thing, but you can certainly you know, explore the whole thing. Maybe, you know, if you're cruising from spot to spot at 4.5, 5 mile an hour instead of 6, you'll have more than enough power. But I will tell you, if you do want to mash it and really go a long distance at full speed, you can see I have a spare battery there, so you can bring another battery if you want to be aggressive with it. It's no trouble at all to just throw them in there. They're 13 pounds. You know, 13-pound battery is nothing to, you know, to bring along with you, and just to make sure you got plenty of range. But I think in most reservoirs in Virginia, you only need one.
Fish on.
Up you go. Still doing the finesse jig. You were using full-size jig. I should switch to full-size jig. I catch some full-size fish. Very cool. That's one of the cruise motors. We're gonna go check it out. Pontoon boats is a market that we've got a lot of cruise motors out in there. This is either a 2,000 watt or a 4,000 watt, either a 5 horsepower or an 8. I'll tell you. But yeah, this is the big brother to the travel motor, and it's got quite a bit more power. So that'll probably move that Sun Tracker bass buggy pontoon boat at, I don't know, 6.5, 7 mile an hour. Which for a bigger boat like that, it's nice to have that much power. So, but yeah, we go all the way up to 20 horsepower with the Cruise 10.0. All right, we're at our hottest, all the way in the upper end of the lake. There's a little bit of pads here and there, but they're in very little water, just super skinny. And we have 96.7 degrees. Do you think anything lives here?
I don't think so.
No? All right.
Not real confident.
Let's move back down lake and find some deeper wood.
I think so.
So that rig right there is what I see all the time. That I think people would be better off with the 3 horsepower. That what I affectionately refer to as twin Minn Kotas on the back of there. Because those will run out, and they just don't give you the power that you could have with 3 horsepower. So we're going through a little tunnel here to the other side. We'll go see what is through here. Looks like, here. Are you scared, or do you want to just hang out in here because it's cooler?
That is an idea. Dropped about 10 degrees, didn't it?
It did. It's nice and cool in the tunnel. All right, let's see what we got out here. Good fish too.
Nice.
Good catch. And there we go. I got it on the little jig. Nice. There you go. That was a good one. We were coming through. We went back in here. It was a big mud flat, and there was nothing here. And we were bottoming out. And Marty's like, if there's anything in here, it's going to be under that tree because it drops off before we go in. And he's like, I don't think there's one in there. We're like, why don't we try it? So it's fun to prove you right and prove you wrong at the same time.
I guess I should have shut up when shut up before I said too much.
Nice.
Nice. What?
It's tasty.
Slap your mama.
You got me good. You did it twice. Give me another chance. Give me another chance. He's gonna do it again, right? Nice. 17 and a half. And chunky. Man. I'm gonna go home and give my wife a hug, and she's gonna be like, who do you smell like? See you, fishy. You ready for the whole shot? Do it! Warp speed! So it looks like we got a little Wednesday evening John boat on an electric only lake blast off here at about Alright, well, we've eventually outrun all of them with our single 3 horsepower. that boat right there had 3 individual trolling motors on it. So I think they got an eyeful. Hopefully they'll know to go to Green Top, and I talked to a couple of the guys and let them know, hey, where can you get that? And Green Top in just north of Richmond is the dealer in Virginia where you can get the travel motors for john boats, pontoon boats, whatever you're using it for. Gotta love Green Top. It's like a big toy store for people who like to hunt and fish. Let's head inside and check out the display. All right, I'm here with Billy here in Green Top, and we're going to take a look at the Torqeedo Travel 1103. This is our 3 horsepower electric outboard, and that's what is able to get my John boat up to, just with me in it, I get about 6.3 miles per hour. With 2 guys, we got about 5.4 miles per hour. So
that's pretty fast.
You were saying you had a buddy that has...
Yeah, he's got an 8 horsepower on his 1648. Does pretty well. He fishes a lot of John boat tournaments, so it does awesome for him. There's
Nice.
a couple guys that does it too. So
that would be one of the cruise motors. So the cruise motors are 5, 8, or 20 horsepower. I think he has this one is the 8 horsepower. That's a 48 volt system. That's a 24, and then the Cruise 10.0 is also the 48 volt system. But I've seen, I've actually seen a 20-foot long, 70 wide John boat up on one of the Maryland reservoirs up to 17.4 miles per hour.
Wow.
So they really scoot.
that's pretty cool.
But I think for a lot of our, our smaller electric only lakes, or even some of the bigger ones, you got a lot of range, with this 3 horsepower.
Absolutely.
So-
Yeah. You can cover more water for sure.
Absolutely. I actually explored the upper end of Ravenna earlier in the week, and it's a long river-like reservoir in Charlottesville. And I went all the way to the top, went past the bridge up to where it was just a creek, and that's actually where I was catching most of the fish.
That's awesome.
That clear water is a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
It's a good fishery, and I don't think you're reaching a lot of that with a trolling motor.
That's true.
So,
Not at all.
Billy, I'm gonna hand the camera to you, and I'll go over some of the features of this motor.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Sounds good.
So the battery actually sits on top here. I just have this pin that helps lock it down, but the battery weighs 13.1 pounds. Just if you have some rough water, you don't want the battery bouncing, so that pin just locks it into place. If you do want to lock the steering in place, there is a pin that goes under here, but I'm going to leave that free steering. So as I start to turn the twist the throttle here, you see I have very nice silent power. There's actually 2 different options on the propeller. The standard one right there is actually faster on bigger boats, but I recommend this is the weedless prop. This one's a really tough prop, and everyone that gets a motor like this should have a spare. I'd recommend that you take off the standard one, put the weedless one on. It actually gets faster speeds than the standard one, so the weedless prop is the one to go with. Let's take a look at the screen right here. This shows that I have 100% of my charge in the battery. This is a 915 watt-hour battery. There's my watt draw as I start using power. And what this will do, or what it would do if I was outside, was to show my speed. Because there's a GPS unit in the battery, it'll actually tell your speed. And it uses that, so watt draw, speed, and remaining battery life is to show you your range. So that will let you know, and I'll show a little bit later on how that works in an actual, on the water setting. But basically, if you're out and you know that you're 5 miles away from the launch and you're gunning it, and it'll say that you only have 4.8 miles of remaining range, you back it off a hair and see that number grow, so you know that you're going to get back to the ramp without running out of power. The other cool thing is that even as you get down to like 10% or 5%, you have full speed. If it says that you have 0.4 miles of range, you can do that at full speed, 6.3 miles per hour if you want. Unlike a trolling motor, which kind of dies off. You don't get the full power as you get towards the end of the battery drawdown. So those are some of the, the basic functions of the Torqeedo Travel 1103. Thanks for filming with me, Billy.
No problem, man.
There's the other ones in there. All right, we're wrapping up for the day. I want to show you something pretty cool though. Marty, I'm gonna have you come up here and maybe look right down here. We got 8% of the battery left, and I'm gonna mash it, and we're still getting over 1,000 watts, and it'll show you that I have 0.2 miles of remaining range, and our takeout is right up here, so we have enough speed to get there. We're still going at full speed though, 5.4 miles per hour, 5.5, 5.6, and even though we're at 7%, unlike a trolling motor battery that draws down slowly with time, you have full speed right up until when you're out of power. So instead of a lessening power throughout your drawdown, full power right up to the end, and this is about the end. There's the trucks right there. Marty, been an awesome day on the water.
Yeah,
appreciate you coming out with me.
Anytime.
Had some fun.